What is up, Lock Talk family? It's your boy Jason, and I'm back for another NBA video breakdown, free picks and predictions for today, January 22nd. And then, man, if you guys want to know how we did yesterday in Premium, we absolutely crushed it. We went 3-0 once again, another blowout winning day, and I gave out as a free play on my Instagram the Raptors plus 1.5. And hey, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was not fun in the beginning. We were getting blown out. Pause, but by 21 points in the first quarter, but they rallied all the way back and won by like 15 points. Again, guys, if you guys do want to join me and you want to see me keep on coming up here and dropping these plays, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. Let me know what type of videos do you want to see. Do you like these full game breakdowns, or do you want to see just player props or some other type of information? Let me know. I'm here for you. But guys, let's get straight into it. But before I do, if you guys do want to join me in my premium chat for a free week, that's right, a free week, subscribe or get on Novig, use my code LOCK, and I'll get you up to a 50% discount on your first deposit. Guys, there's no better book right now. If you're in these 42 states, especially in states like Texas and California, you're able to bet normal money lines just like all these other books like FanDuel and DraftKings, but they have better lines because they use peer-to-peer betting and an exchange type system. So not only will your bets actually get filled if you place them, but you'll get better lines. I mean, you could have bet this Raptors game instead of minus 110, you could have done it at minus 105. These little edges and savings will add up at the very end. Let's talk about the first game on the board. And the first game on the board that I want to talk about is a game that I'm definitely very excited about. The Detroit Pistons against the Atlanta Hawks. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time start. Man, what have I said time and time out, man? The Detroit Pistons are a much different team this year. I mean, they did very, very well in their last game. And now they're going to be facing the Hawks again on the road. Detroit, let me see, they're plus 2.5 underdogs. They won outright against the Houston Rockets in Houston, one of the toughest places to play if you're a role player. And now they're playing Atlanta in Atlanta. Atlanta's favorites, rightfully so. I think Atlanta, on paper, is probably a better team. It looks like there's not too many major injuries. The only major injury is that Jaden Ivey is still out, but that's been typical over the past few days or past few weeks. So in this game, man, I mean, I'll be honest, man, on paper, for sure, I think Atlanta has a lot of edges. I think defensively was where the Pistons could probably get their edge, in my opinion. Atlanta is not the best defense in the game. I mean, they're pretty weak at the three-point line, but they're much more effective if you attack them at the basket. As you know, though, as I said in other videos, if you've been following me, Detroit has a pretty balanced attack, but there are a lot of guys that want to shoot threes, and Tim Hardaway, even Cade Cunningham, man. So, I don't know. I can't fade this Detroit team. I think this Detroit team has really been putting it together. They found their identity. They have everyone healthy for the most part. So give me the Detroit Pistons plus 2.5 to start our night. That'll be the first spot I'll take on this board. All right, guys, the next game I want to talk about is another goodie, bro, a West Coast battle. The Minnesota Timberwolves against the Dallas Mavericks. Let's straight talk about it. But first, obviously the biggest thing on Dallas all the time is the injuries. But it looks like Derek Lively, Klay Thompson, their game time decisions, I think they're going to play. But further than that, Kyrie Irving, he's not even tagged at all. So he's almost 100% going to play. You never really know. But Derek Lively definitely big. If not, they'll probably have to use like Gafford or someone like that. They've had some problems with the center. Obviously, they need some type of good center to battle Rudy Gobert. And honestly, this is not the same type of game, man. I mean, look, Luka Doncic ain't playing. Minnesota has been a much better road team than a home team in terms of the covering standpoint. I mean, they actually are, one of the best road covering teams in the NBA 13-10 on the season. While the Dallas Mavericks, yes, I mean, they're pretty good. They've been pretty good so far this season, but in terms of home covering, only 11-10, a little bit better than on the road. I just think the injuries are just too much. We also don't know if Derek Lively is going to play or not. They need a center, in my opinion, to battle Rudy Gobert. So in the spot, as a small favorite on the road, I'll take the Minnesota Timberwolves at minus 2.5. I think it's a great game for some props as well. This could be a defensive battle, though. So if you like betting overs, I'd be careful if I was you. All right, on the third game on the board, the next game I do see is the Phoenix Suns against the Brooklyn Nets. And hey, man, the Brooklyn Nets, they battled back, were able to cover against the New York Knicks. I told you it was a weird spot for the Knicks. Ended up being a flat spot to a certain extent. They still lost that game, but they're on a back-to-back, but with no travel. Phoenix Suns, man, extended favorites, 11-point favorites on the road. I don't know, man. Look, Beal's a game-time decision. Nurkic is still out. I think Phoenix Suns is definitely the much better team. We'll see who ends up playing. I mean, Ben Simmons is a game-time decision. Zaire Williams is a game-time decision. Ben Simmons did not, I don't think, played yesterday, so he might be slated to play today. Even though the Nets are such big dogs at home, I told you, it's not the best spot for them, especially on a back-to-back, but they're a young team. Look, this is a game I'm probably going to avoid, but if I had to make a play, I'd probably do like Phoenix first half or maybe Phoenix whole game. I'm not in love with it. I think Phoenix are definitely the better team on paper. There's nowhere in the spot, even the spot included, where I would want to back the Brooklyn Nets. So give me the Phoenix Suns -11, but not my favorite play on the board. All right, the next game is the fourth game, man. It's a big slate today, guys, so be patient with me. We have a lot more to go through. We have a really good one, man. The Milwaukee Bucks against the New Orleans Pelicans. My Pelicans, bro. Last time we took something in the Pelicans, we took my man Trey Murphy over points. He got it in overtime with that last free throw. So are we going to take him again? I don't know, but this game is definitely interesting. You have to pay attention to this injury report because Zion Williams is a game-time decision and Yves Missi is a game-time decision as well. He's not as important as Zion, obviously, but I do think Zion, I'm going to assume that he's playing. Milwaukee Bucks are 6-point favorites on the road. If he does not play, Milwaukee Bucks are definitely in a position to blow these guys out. Milwaukee Bucks have looked very, very good, man. And yeah, man, I think if Zion plays, this is a lot of points, to be honest. Like, Milwaukee's definitely put it together. Milwaukee's definitely been stepping it up on the offensive and defensive side. A lot of people are definitely betting on the Milwaukee Bucks, but I'd say be careful. I don't want to make a very strong prediction before the game starts, but if Zion plays, man, I like the Pelicans' chances to possibly win, maybe not even just cover, but even win this game. If there's any spot the Pelicans can exploit against the Bucks, I'd say it probably has to be the three-point line. The problem is they don't really attack the three-point line too well. And, I mean, I'll be honest, you look at all their stats, rankings, I mean, it's so muddled by their beginning of the season problems. But with that being said, I think if Zion plays, this game could play a lot closer than 6 points. This is a game that possibly the Pelicans can possibly win at home, their best spot. So if Zion plays, I would take the points, but if he does not play, this line is going to jump to like 11 points or maybe 9 points. So I'd be careful. If you really want to take the risk, Milwaukee could definitely beat them even with Zion. But he's definitely a big piece, man. They need someone like him to really battle Giannis, but also to drive it in the paint, create opportunities, dish out to three-point line shots to guys like Trey Murphy, McCollum, and Murray. All right, guys. So about the next game on the board, and this one, I don't know why I say it every single time when these guys play, but this could be an NBA Finals type game, and I really do believe it. The Cleveland Cavaliers against the Houston Rockets. Cleveland, 2-point favorites on the road. And look, I've said it before, Houston, one of the best home covering teams in the NBA, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are actually right behind the Nets in terms of the best road covering team in the NBA. Obviously, they're very, very low favorites today. The thing is, they're going to be without Evan Mobley, so that's a big one. They still have no Isaiah Curl, and LeVert is a game-time decision. So, very interesting to see, man. I see some books also -1.5 as well. Everyone and their mother is on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I don't know if it's because of the poor performance that the Houston Rockets had their last time out. I mean, look, I think Detroit's not that bad of a team, man, but they definitely did get their butts whooped. And Houston has looked okay, man. I mean, they beat on the Portland Trailblazers. They lost to the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento's definitely been stepping up as well. But they did beat the Denver Nuggets the other time out. But I don't think Jokic played that game. I have to double check. But regardless, both teams have had pretty good defenses, except Cleveland's defense has definitely been taking a step down, that's for sure. I mean, they were one of the better defenses last year. Their defensive rankings definitely dropped from being like a top 3 team to being a below top 10 team. Houston's still a top 5 defense overall. And Houston, man, the one thing they're very good at is covering the paint, the mid-range, but they have not been as good at being effective at the three-point line. They do prevent a lot of three-point shots, and they force you to go attack the basket on them. And that's something that the Cleveland Cavaliers don't do, man. I mean, they really do want to shoot threes, mid-rangers, and that plays right into the hands of the Houston Rockets. On the other side, though, I mean, like I said, Cleveland's defense has not been that great. Houston Rockets, they attack the rim at an insane pace. And the thing is, Cleveland's one of the best rim covering teams in the NBA. Without Mobley, though, we'll see how they do. They're going to have, I believe, Dean Wade in his place. But, man, look, I'm going to have to take this. Look, I think everyone's super down the Houston Rockets just because they lost that last game against the Detroit Pistons, who I think are actually a legit team. It is what it is, man. Give me the Houston Rockets, man. Their best spot. I think it's a good bounce back spot against a game they're definitely going to get up for. No Mobley on the Cleveland side. I think is going to be important in facing guys like Sengun, Dylan Brooks, Amen Thompson. They need their size, man. And against a Houston team who really has been playing very well, man, except their last game. Give me the Houston Rockets, man, as dogs at home. I'm going to fade the public on this one. All right, guys. We have 4 more games left, man. But again, if you guys do want to get on one of the best books, I think the best book right now in the industry, they have the best lines. Get on Novig. Again, use code LOCK if you want a 50% discount on your first deposit. I'm telling you, these discounts and promos won't last forever, so definitely take advantage. And I'll give you also a free week just for signing up, and I'll show you all the lines that you can get on that book versus FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM. Especially if you live in states like California, Texas, and Florida. Stop getting scammed by all these other offshore books, and if you're in Florida, off Hard Rock. So, all right, guys, let's talk about the last 4 games on the board. If you're not hitting that subscribe button and liking this video, man, what are you doing, man? Let's talk about it. The Utah Jazz against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City, 17.5-point favorite. This is crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I haven't seen a spread this big, and it's pretty crazy because Markkanen and Collins might be coming back. Sensa ball or Sensa goat, bro. That guy's been a beast. He's a game 10 decision. He usually comes off the bench. Look, I'm going to say it. I'm going to make it sweet, simple, to the point. Also, Jalen Williams is a game 10 decision on the OKC side, but if all these guys are playing, there is no way. I don't care how good Oklahoma City has been. I am not laying 17.5 points with the Oklahoma City Thunder. If anything, I think this game could be at most maybe 11-point spread, 12-point spread. But 17.5 points, man, maybe I'm a sucker, but I am not taking a 17.5-point spread if Markkanen, John Collins, Keontae George, Colin Sexton, and Kessler are playing for the Jazz side. I'm not saying this Jazz team has been that great, but they're not so bad where they're basically Oklahoma City has to blow them up by 20 points. Look, everything's going to say that Oklahoma City is so much better on paper, so I'm not going to bother with trying to compare stats and the spots. Even defensive side, like I said, Oklahoma City is the best 3-point defending team in the NBA. They do allow a lot of 3-point shots. Utah takes a lot of those 3-point shots, so we just need a few shots to go in against the average, and OKC can still win by 12, 15 points, but I think 17.5 points is just way too many points, man. So give me the Jazz plus 17.5. It's a dog spot for sure, but hey, you got to take these dog shots once in a while. All right, in the last 3 games, we got the Charlotte Hornets against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis minus 12.5-point favorites at home. Memphis looks pretty healthy, man. The only guys I see out on the injury report are Marcus Smart, LaRavia is a game 10 decision, and Vince Williams. I don't know why Vince has been out for so long, man. He was really, really good last year. He got us paid a lot last year. On the Charlotte side, Brandon Miller's still out and Trey Mann is still out, but they got their main guy, LaMelo Ball. Look, man, simply put, Charlotte's great. I mean, LaMelo Ball is a great player, but Memphis is just too much for them, in my opinion. I think there's too much offense on the Memphis side, too much pace, too much defense. The guys like Jaren Jackson, John Moran, even Zach Edey, like the size, the speed, the tenacity of this team, I think it's going to be too much. Even though it's a big spread, I think Memphis can do it. I'm giving Memphis minus 12.5. I like that spot for them there. All right, man, I'm going to try to get this under 17 minutes. Last 2 games on the board, we have the Golden State Warriors against the Sacramento Kings, man. And look, Sacramento, 7-point favorites at home. Golden State has not been that same team, man. They're 21-21 in the season. Sacramento just kind of really got past that 500 record. Sacramento looks fully healthy. Golden State looks like they're still going to be about Kuminga, Podominski, Green, and my man Kyle Anderson. Look, man, I think there's just too many injuries. Sacramento's definitely been putting together. I've been saying in other videos. Do I want to lay 7 points with them, though? Not really. I mean, Golden State also has not been playing that well. They got blown out by the Boston Celtics. They beat the Washington Wizards, but only by 8 points. They didn't cover that spread. They did beat Memphis, and they did lose to Toronto, so it hasn't been too good. Sacramento's been one of the hotter teams in the NBA. Besides that one loss they did have against Milwaukee. We took Milwaukee in that spot, I believe, or we took one of their props. But nonetheless, I think Sacramento's the better team. I feel there's too many points, though. 7 points is a lot, but Golden State is riddled with injuries, man. I'm not in the position, really. I think I like props a lot more in this game, to be honest. So if I was to take a side, though, regretfully, I want to take Golden State Warriors. I think this spread should be around 6, so there might be some slight value, but I'm not rushing to bet this game, man. Golden State definitely could get blown out. They are without a lot of guys, but I'm not in love with this betting a side or a total. All right, guys, let's get to the last game. If you've been with me from the beginning until the very end, man, I hope this has been helpful. Please put a comment below. Let me know what you want to see more of, man. I want to bring you guys the best videos. If you like these full game breakdowns, let me know. But all right, last game on the board, and I said it before, but this could be a championship type game if everyone stays healthy. The Boston Celtics against the Los Angeles Clippers. I see James Harden, Chris Dunn, and Powell as game time decisions. That's pretty big. I'm assuming that they're going to play, but we'll find out, man. On the Boston side, Drew Holiday is a game time decision, and Al Horford as well. Look, man, if the Clippers have everyone, this game could be somewhat competitive, but they have no Zubac still. Kawhi Leonard's supposed to be out. There's no way I could lay 9, even with the amount of points the Clippers could get. I think Boston could dog these dudes. The Clippers need their full lineup to cover, in my opinion, in this game. The injury report is so bad. I'm not really in a spot that I want to take the Clippers and take this dog shot. If James Harden, Powell play, yeah, maybe it could be a little bit more competitive, but I think Boston, from top to bottom, has too many guys. Even if Kawhi Leonard and Zubac play, this line will probably be maybe 4.5, maybe 3. But I understand this line. I think Boston Celtics are the much better team. They should beat down on this Clippers team. Obviously, this could be a defensive game, but if any of these main guys are out, especially Harden, this could be an absolute blowout, bloodbath, guys. But I'm not rushing to bet this game either. But Boston, give me them. Not minus 9.5. They've been they had a little low period at some point, but I think they step it back up today, man. But guys, you've been enjoying the content, man. I hope to see you in that next video, man. Good luck today, and let's go smoke the books.